Today is November 17th. It is World Prematurity Day. I have two out of my three preemies right here with us. There's Dominic. We've been practicing on rolling. Oh, and here's Miss Callie. Getting some mat time in. Lincoln is still sleeping. They're actually going to be eating here in the next few minutes, so hopefully they won't get too rowdy. I'm taking some style tips from Callie with her headbands today. Fun story, the last time that I wore this headband, I was blonde, so that was a few years ago. I pulled the blonde hair out of it when I went to put it on. Also, this tank top is literally the tank top that I wore when I walked into the hospital to have these babies. I should maybe buy, or not even buy, I have them. I should probably just wear a different tank top, but it's so comfortable. And you know, it just hangs down. That was the fun part of it. When I was wearing it when I was 7.5 months pregnant with triplets, it would just kind of hang down and you couldn't really see what was going on. So that's my style outfit of the day today. It's very, very stylish. Anyways, today is World Prematurity Day. I was thinking about it with our pregnancy. The one thing that we did know for sure was that I was going to be going early. They were thinking that I was going to be going, hey buddy, it's okay. The longest that I would go was going to be 36 weeks. And I made it to 34 weeks and 2 days. So, you know, it was good in the scheme of things. I could have gone much earlier. 34 weeks, 2 days is really good for triplets. But with that being said, we had, you know, we've been living the life of having preemie babies, which is terrifying, by the way. Just we're so worried about these little guys getting sick, and the first flu season's coming up. There's a chance that these guys are going to qualify for an RSV vaccine that we were hoping for, and that didn't happen. We know for sure Callie and Dominic were denied. I'm thinking might have qualified just because of his pulmonary hypertension that he had when he was in the NICU and just born. But I'm looking into why they were denied, because it made me feel better thinking that we might have something to kind of help keep them healthy. So we've decided not to do any like big family gatherings this year, and which is really sad. But when it comes down to it, talking to the doctors, really one of the only ways to try and cut down on the amount of germs that they're exposed to is to keep them home and just kind of hunker down in here. So hopefully we just stay healthy. And you know, I know we can't prevent all of it, but we can do what we can. We've been practicing rolling over today. So I have some babies who get a little mad when they can't quite get flipped over. So I know I talked about it a lot on the podcast that I did with Denise Hinneka, the On a Mother Level podcast. We're episode 13 if you want to check it out, about what the experience was leading up to knowing that we were pregnant. So kind of the fertility process that we went through the C-section, and then what life was kind of like in the NICU. What I'm really hoping is, I told my sister that I wanted to do this. I didn't really ask her, so I need to go back and ask her. She's going to be here in a couple weeks for Thanksgiving, and when we were in the NICU, Joey ended up having to go back to work, so he would stay there on the weekends with me. And we had 2 different rooms that we were staying in. So one person would stay in one room, I would stay in the other room. But my sister was actually able to come up and stay as well. So she would stay with me during the week, and then she would head home and watch our dogs on the weekends. And then her and Joey would just kind of trade off. So I know for sure she has her own experience that she went through that wasn't really talked about, because I think probably doing enough freaking out for the both of us, and she was, you know, concerned about my well-being, so she didn't share a lot of stuff. So I'm interested to hear what her experience was like. So that will be in a couple weeks. Oh my gosh, you guys, can I just show you this? They are looking at each other. Oh, Kelly just looked away. It was very sweet. I had to take a break to feed these guys. Lincoln's happy as a clam. The other two, Callie's just a little crabby about things. Dominic's about falling asleep. But Lincoln took his nap, so he's happy. Here they are. Hi, Link. Hi, bud. Oh, Dom, we need to finish this, bud. We still have to do baths tonight, too. Besides the fact that we were pregnant with triplets and we knew that we were going to go early, I also had some beginning factors for preeclampsia, and I really wanted to make it to the 36 weeks, but I only made it to 34 weeks and 2 days, which is, you know, when they start talking about the risk factors of preeclampsia, it's pretty scary. Like I mentioned, I talk really in depth about it on that podcast. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check it out. And I'm going to talk more about the NICU experience when my sister's here in a couple weeks. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on how they are now. We've had 2 different 4-month appointments this week, which is why I don't have much that I've posted. It was a little tricky this week. We had a follow-up appointment in Iowa City with the high-risk clinic, which the whole process was actually really cool, seeing what all they look for. Hopefully they'll go back when they're about 9 months old, and hopefully I'll get a little more video maybe of what that was like. But they like lay all 3 kids down on this big mat in this big room, and they like have a bag of tricks, and they check out reflexes, they check out how long they'll watch a page with pictures, they'll ring a bell, they'll shake a rattle and make sure that they see the noises, they'll check reflexes. The only thing really that came out of it was Lincoln has to stretch his legs, like bringing his knees to his chest. Dominic has to stretch his legs like he would be stretching his hamstrings. And Callie has to stretch her arms out. And also the boys have kind of a reflex that just shows that their nerves aren't quite as developed as they should be. Dominic's was really bad when he was in the NICU. And even when we first came home, he would just like really shake when he would get upset, especially. But that's gotten a lot better. I mean, that was the only thing, and they said with that it was just prematurity. We also had our 4-month appointment for the vaccines and everything with our local doctor. And we had one baby who screamed the whole time. The first appointment in Iowa City was right around the kids' feeding time, so all of them were screaming, so that was an interesting experience. And then we had this follow-up appointment with our local doctor. One of the babies screamed the entire time, and then that was even before the shots happened. So then we had the shots, and then the next couple of days were really rough on them. We had our first experience of having everyone with fevers and just being, you know, crabby and not eating as much, and you could tell that their legs just hurt them. So that was hard on us too. They didn't sleep as well, and we were just so worried about these kids having the fevers. And I know it won't be the first time. Well, it was the first time. I know it won't be the last time. So I have the weights and heights of everyone. So Lincoln was triplet A. He was 19 inches long, they said, even though I questioned that when he was born, and 4 pounds 9 ounces. At this appointment that we were just at, he was 11 pounds 14 ounces. So that's, you know, 7 pounds 5 ounces that he's gone up, and he was 24.25 inches long. So he is just barely getting onto the charts for his height. He's still under for his weight, which we are working on, but the boy does not love to eat like his mom does. So we have to struggle almost every time that we feed him to try and make sure that he's getting enough. Dominic was triplet B. He was, I want to say 16 inches when he was born. Nope, that's not true. He would have been 17 and some change when he was born. When we had this appointment, he was 24.5 inches long and he was 13 pounds 4 ounces. And Callie was just barely 17 inches when she was born, and she was 4 pounds 2 ounces. Dominic was 4 pounds 12 ounces when he was born. Again, went up to 13.4. Callie was 4.2 and she is up to 11.5. So they're making some really good growth, and just we got really good reports from these appointments that we were at, so that's really good. I'm just impressed with how they're starting to use their hands, and they're rolling over, and most of the time sleeping through the night from about 10 until 6, so that's a huge step. So we'll just have to see how they keep growing. When we were eating, or just got done eating, I did ask them to share what it was like being a preemie baby. So I'm going to share that with you. They're just cute. Their personalities are really starting to show through, so that's fun. Let's talk, huh? What's life like being a preemie baby? Huh? What's it like? This guy says it's a rough one. Huh. Everyone just finished their bottles. Like within 20 minutes, 25 minutes, which doesn't happen usually. Hi, babe. Oh, tell me, what's life like being a premature baby? Oh, look at how big you are. What, Cal? What? Yeah. Tell us. Tell the world. What's it like? Huh? Okay. Oh. Is it exciting? Is that all? No more to add? Huh? Any more to add? That's a good answer. Yeah, that's a good answer. You and your 4 months just know so much. Do you agree? Huh? Do you agree? You do? Good. Anything to add? Huh? Anything to add? Yeah. I'm sure Dominic would have some things to add too, but he's so tired. Say bye, everyone. Say bye, everyone. Say bye. Okay. So she was just cuddling in. No one had to move, huh? Look, don't move. She's cuddling in. Look at how much she's cuddling. Hey, you were just cuddling into me. I wanted to get it on tape. So it doesn't happen. Cuddling in. No one move. Oh, darn it. Cal, we were cuddling in. Can you cuddle back in? Huh? Will you cuddle back in? Cuddle back into Mama. I loved it. Oh. Lincoln doing his stretches for today. It's dead silly. Cal, should I do your stretches? Do the patty cake, huh?
Licht. Who are we? The triplets. The triplets. Licht. Who are we? The triplets. The triplets. Licht. Who are we? The triplets. Licht. Who are we? The triplets. Licht. Who are we? The triplets.
Hi, can you tell me what it's like to be a preemie? Yeah? Tell me. Can you tell me some more? Can you tell me some more? Hi, baby boy. Hi, Dominic. Oh, you relaxing today? Having a good Sunday? Mm-hmm. Chilling out. And also, if you want to check out pictures from when they were first born, the video that's tagged on like the top of the Licht Triplets page is like all of my bump pictures, and it leads into our first time that we get to see them, which was pretty special. But you can see what they look like. I have posted before and after pictures, before and current pictures before on the page, and I will keep doing that as they continue to grow, just to have a little reminder of how really tiny the babies were and how far they've come.